Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of the Shots Fired Podcast DFW. As usual, and as always, you got your boy Big Joe.
You got your boy Julio the Don.
And the awesome producer, Mr. J.
Somebody's feeling themselves, and that's all right. We got a good show in store for you guys today. So let's kick it off. Jay, what do we got first, fam?
Man, we have week 8 power rankings.
Okay.
So fellas, tell me what your power rankings are.
Okay. I know I got my list ready and I'm looking at it here. Julio, I'll let you go first, fam. We'll go 5-1.
Here we go.
We'll go 5-1.
Nobody wants to go first. It's all right.
We'll
I'll
start
go
at
ahead
5.
and start.
We'll start at 5.
We'll start it off. All right. So at number 5, I still have the Detroit Lions at my number 5. For obvious reasons, Detroit, even though they did have a loss last week, and they lost against the Ravens. I get that, but I still think that Dan Campbell is doing great things over there in Detroit. I think that he's motivating his team. He's getting on, making sure that they're going to keep the ball rolling. So I like Detroit at number 5.
So you think that was just a misstep against the Ravens?
Just a little setback. Let's just call it that, a setback against the Ravens.
Fair.
Yeah.
Setback.
I like that. I like that. My number 5, they've dropped, and if they continue to play the way they've been playing, they're going to keep dropping out of my top 5. That is the San Francisco 49ers. You got back-to-back losses, and it's starting to look real suspect over there. I continue to die on that hill of I truly believe the 49ers put all their energy into that Cowboys game. And then after that, they're spent. I think they're looking to get to the bye week and recover. But that's just me. Sometimes you use all everything you got on the team. And I feel like that's what happened. They were out there to prove a point. And now the mojo's gone. So at number 5 for me is the 49ers.
Okay.
All right.
Jay?
I respect it. I'd have to say my number 5 would probably be I'll go with that. The 49ers. The 49ers, just because of what Joe said, but I don't think they shot their wad. I really don't. I think they had a couple key injuries that kind of kept them down this past week, but they'll get back into it. That team, like I said, that team is a team that plays together just like Detroit. So, and they play physical. So,
yep.
Okay.
That's my number 5.
All righty. So now back to number 4. Julio, who do you have at your number 4, fam?
Oh, they actually dropped from the last time that we did our power rankings. The last time we did our power rankings, I had them ranked at number 3, but they fell 1 to number 4 are the Kansas City Chiefs. So even though they're 6-1, and even though that, again, you have Patty Mahomes, you have Travis Kelce, and a number of other players that, play for the Kansas City Chiefs. For me, it's one of those things to where I like the Chiefs, but at the same time, I feel like they're squeezing by games. I don't feel like they're.
Isn't that the sign of a good team?
It is. It's showing consistency, but at the same time, I don't know. It's just one of those things to where I feel like every year we see them kind of do this roller coaster thing to where they start to go down, decline a little bit, and then they pick it back up going into the postseason. So for me, for right now, for this week, I'm gonna say Kansas City Chiefs are my number 4 for right now.
Okay,
that's just me.
That's a little low to me, but That's your list, not mine. So
It is.
my number 4 is a team that I didn't have in my top 5 a couple weeks ago when we tested this,
Mhm.
and that is the Baltimore Ravens. After
Ooh.
after the butt cutting they put on Detroit,
Mhm.
my ears perked up a little bit, and I'm starting to see like they're starting to catch a little fire here.
Oh yeah.
So Lamar is starting to get in the groove. He's starting to throw the ball. So once he's able to get that down, you couple that with his running, that defense, the Ravens are looking good, man. But for this week, after what I saw, give me the Ravens at number 4.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a wild card in here. Kind of wild card. I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills for my number 4.
Okay.
Um, they're still a good team. People kind of like think Allen and them are kind of slowing down, but I don't think so. He still has Diggs up there, so they ain't gonna slow down. They're still a good football team. Um, that's why they're my number 4.
And they just won Thursday, right?
Yep, they
Yeah.
did.
So yeah, Buffalo's. I like that, bro. Julio, who you got at number 3, fam?
Oh, you just actually finished talking about him. Somebody that I hadn't had on my list last week, and because of the way that I see again, kind of just to chime off of what you just fed a little while ago, basically them getting hot. Um, Lamar Jackson playing outstanding, starting to look like he's picking up the pace and whatnot. So obviously, as you can tell, my number 3 pick is the Baltimore Ravens. They're starting to pick up steam. They're starting to look a whole lot sharper, a whole lot better. And if they continue that trend and they continue to play the way that they've been playing, I
Mhm.
expect them to just be keep the train rolling on that end. So for me, I like the Baltimore Ravens. Not somebody that had picked the previous time that we did the power rankings. So I'm gonna take the Baltimore Ravens at my number 3.
Nice. My number
Mhm.
3, I'm gonna go with a team that people have been high on, and all of a sudden, for whatever reason, after after their loss to the Eagles, it kind of it took them down a peg. And I'll be honest, I really wanted this team to win, and they did me no favors.
Oh
And that
man.
is the Miami Dolphins at number 3 for me.
They're number 3.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know what happened,
Damn,
man. I really don't know what happened, but
Any
they
given
had an
Sunday.
off
yeah,
game. Any
they
given
Any
look
given
Sunday,
Sunday.
bro.
they look real beatable, and I was like, man, this is not what I expected.
But
So,
you knocked them all the way down to that.
hey, they're my number 3 is still in my top 5. You act
They
like I just
played
took them off the list.
they played the Eagles, bro.
They did. They
I
did.
mean,
And so for that reason, that loss and just the way that game looked, I'm giving the Dolphins my number 3 spot. Jay, who do you have at your number 3?
they're at my number 3 spot, dude.
You talk all that shit and you put them in the same spot I did.
They're I wanted to put them higher, but I can't. I
You
can't.
can't. You
My
you you
one and
can't. Or
my
at least
one
I
and two
couldn't.
are no, my 1 and 2 are reserved for you'll find out. But
You'll find
yeah,
out. Go ahead.
they're number
I have a
3,
feeling
bro.
I kind of know.
They're number
Um
3, bro.
Julio, who you got at number 2, fam?
It's funny that you guys talk about these teams prior to me getting back to my picks. But I last time that we did this, I picked them at number 2. I still have them at number 2. They had a little bit of a setback against the Eagles. I don't think that it showed anything that, to me at least, to where I would have any concern whether or not this team should be ranked where it's ranked. But I still have the Miami Dolphins at my number 2 spot. They still have Tua, they still have Tyreek. And Monster's been running the ball like hell. Yes, they had a setback last week when they lost against the Eagles, 31-17, but I still believe that this is a top tier team. I think that they will go a long ways in the AFC to make sure that they're still a contender when it comes to the playoff time. So my number 2, still the Miami Dolphins. So
Nice.
that's my pick. Mhm.
My number 2 is reserved for the team that just beat the tar out of the Miami Dolphins, and that is the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles, man, I don't know. Like, Jalen is not looking great, but they're still getting wins. And you know what? I can say the same thing about the Cowboys. Dak doesn't look great, but they get these wins. Now, I will say this, they've gotten wins against good teams like the Dolphins.
Mhm.
So this stretch coming up is gonna separate the men from the boys as far as the Cowboys and the Eagles and the list of the teams that we're about to play. It's gonna be hot and heavy coming down to the wire in the NFC East, I believe. But for right now, man, Eagles at number 2. Jay, who you got at
Okay.
2?
Well, I have the Kansas City Chiefs as my number 2.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs at 2.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll just say that. They're at 2. They're playing well.
6-1.
I
6-1.
don't yeah, they are 6-1. There's another 6-1 team is my number 1, and Julio
Spoiler
will
alert.
probably stop talking to me after this, but
Spoiler alert. Julio, who
Oh,
you got at your
don't
number
do
1,
that.
Julio?
Don't do that. My number 1 will always stay the same, no matter what week we're doing the power rankings. No matter what y'all say, my Dallas Cowboys will always be number 1 on my power rankings. Just
so
like Joe said, just a couple of seconds ago, just like Joe said, even though Dak doesn't look great every single time, even though we do have certain setbacks with penalties and whatever the hell else you want to call out as far as what the Cowboys have been producing or have shown so far throughout the season, I still believe in my Dallas Cowboys, and I think that yes, we are number 1, no matter what happens at this point. So for me, number 1 spot, the Dallas Cowboys.
hold on.
Yes,
So
sir. Let's go.
question for you. So if they were
Go ahead.
if they were 0-6 at this point,
Dallas
they'd still
Cowboys,
be
number 1 spot, Jay.
damn.
Dallas Cowboys.
So you just
Damn.
invalidated this entire segment by saying that no
Hey,
matter
that's
what.
your opinion. That's your opinion.
How
It's
can
the
you
Dallas
have
Cowboys.
0-6 team
Yeah.
at number 1 in your
Number
power
1.
rankings? That wouldn't even make sense.
That's my opinion.
Do
Again,
you
I'm entitled
understand?
to my
Do you
opinion.
understand the
I
concept
am
of power
entitled to
rankings?
my opinion.
That's
The
fair.
Dallas Cowboys will remain number
But do
1.
you understand the concept of
Yes,
power
I understand.
rankings?
And the Cowboys will stay at number 1. What's wrong with that?
That doesn't go together.
The Dallas Cowboys stay at number 1.
I mean, I guess.
The Dallas Cowboys
Anyway,
stay at number 1.
if you
Yeah.
want a legitimate list, I'm sorry
Okay.
that you suffered through a list that was completely invalidated
Hey.
at the end.
Hey, I know that there are some people out there that agree with me. 100%. That's all I know.
And you're either in an insane asylum or you're living under a rock and you have no idea what we're talking about. Number 1 for me this week is the Kansas City Chiefs. I do feel like you put any team against the Chiefs on a neutral field and the Chiefs are going to win right now. They're just finding ways to win. Travis Kelce's getting hot. Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he always starts off a little slow, but eventually he catches his rhythm. And I feel like they're coached well, they play well, they're very in sync with one another, and their defense is looking great. So number 1 for me, Kansas City Chiefs. Jay, who you got at number 1?
My number 1, them filthy birds, Philadelphia, them Eagles. I put them at number 1. Uh-oh, what happened? He gone. I put him at number 1, bro, because
He
I'm
thinks your
so
list
I'm
is
so
ridiculous.
disappointed. I'm so disappointed right now.
look, man,
So
I'm
disappointed.
look.
No, I don't want to hear
disappointed in
excuses.
myself a
I
little
don't want to hear
bit,
excuses. No.
But they are playing off the charts right now. You mentioned Travis. They got Jason over there holding it down. That offensive line is pretty outstanding, I think.
I would say
Just
they're,
from
they're
the
top 3 in the NFL.
from the plays that I saw on the highlights and stuff. They're a team to be reckoned with. They're number 1 for a reason. They're 6-1 for a reason. So I think honestly, I think they're playing for Jason to get his bowl before he can retire, or another bowl before he retires. So good for them. At least they got something they're playing for, unlike
You know,
us. You know?
I mean, we're playing for our Cowboys are playing for Julio's power rankings, I guess, which you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about because no matter how crappy you are, you'll still be number 1. Anyway, let's go over it again. Julio, give me your top 5, 5-1.
5-1. Lions. Then we got the Chiefs, Ravens, Miami, and then our Dallas Cowboys.
So you have no Eagles and no 49ers.
Fuck the
No.
Eagles and fuck the 49ers too. There you go.
Okay. My top 5 again, 5-1 is Niners, Ravens, Dolphins, Eagles, Chiefs. Jay, what's your top 5? 5-1.
I don't even remember. I don't. I didn't write it down. I don't remember, bro.
Fantastic.
I think my number. I don't even know what my number 5 was.
Oh my.
I know. Hey, I know 3-1. Okay, 3-1.
When he
3-1.
watches this back, he will
Yeah.
make sure to put it in the comments so that way everybody can
Yeah.
see what his rank is.
We'll do 3-1. 3-1 was shit. I don't even remember that. 3-1.
3 was Dolphins. 3 was Dolphins because we
Was
had
it
the same.
Dolphins?
Yes,
Yeah,
because you were like, man, you put him at 3, and then I was
Yeah,
like,
you're
yeah,
right.
and then you were like, oh yeah, -3.
I put him at 3 too.
You're right. I think so Dolphins, Chiefs, Eagles. 3-1.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Didn't I have the
and that-
Lions in there somewhere?
I
No, I
don't-
had the
I don't know.
Bills. I had the Bills. That's what it was.
And that's why you watch this every week, guys, for top shelf information like that. But with that being said, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Holla at your boy.